Miss Bress here. I want to show you how to go about collecting evidence on your Padlet for step 2 of class today. So you're going to start at the Control Tactics resource page that's here at bit.ly CT paper 23. Once you get there, you're going to go down here to individual brainstorms to this individual Padlet. And you can click on that individual Padlet. This is a template. I don't want you to write on this one. You're going to go over here to this button and click to remake it. Okay, so you're going to make a copy for yourself. You can change the title if you want. You could have it say like your name, so I could have it be Sarah P. Sarah P. Individual Padlet on Control Tactics. Okay, and then make sure that you copy both the design and the posts. You want to copy everything that is on this Padlet, and then you're going to do submit. It's making it for you. Okay, so now this is my version of my Padlet. This is going to be my workspace for my paper going forward. Today, I am focused on the white one, step 1, and step 2, the evidence gathering. That's all I need to get done by Friday. Okay, so for step 1, the first thing it says is to type the topic you decided on in your written topic brainstorm. That's the packet that you already did, the yellow packet. So go ahead and create a new sticky. You can just double click to create one. It should be white, right, because it goes with step 1. And we're going to call this My Topic Ideas, maybe. And now I'm going to type some version of what was at the end of my yellow packet. So maybe I'm thinking at the end of my yellow packet, I am fascinated by the connections between propaganda and indoctrination, how these are similar and different. In particular, I want to explore how propaganda long-term becomes indoctrination, and I am curious about whether people are able to question, resist propaganda, and whether they are able to question, resist indoctrination. So that's one thing I've been thinking about how really indoctrination feels like long-term propaganda. That's my topic idea right now. Okay, so I'm going to put that over under step 1. Step 1 is done. Now I'm going to go to step 2, which is evidence gathering. And it says, please gather 5 pieces of evidence, 2 from English, 2 from history, 1 of your choice. Create a sticky note for each piece of evidence. I'm going to make my English evidence red, my history evidence yellow, and I can copy and paste direct quotes or summaries from the class Padlet. Okay, to do that, I need each class Padlet, which is linked on the essay resource page. So I'm going back to the essay resource page. I'm going to open up the English Padlet in a tab. And I'm going to open up the history Padlet in a tab. Okay, so much evidence for me to choose from. So my goal here is to choose 5 pieces of evidence. I at least need 2 from English and 2 from history. So let's start with history. Okay, so I'm looking for maybe evidence about propaganda and evidence about indoctrination. On my history Padlet, my classmates have gathered lots of information about propaganda, lots of information about indoctrination. That feels like the 2 that I want to look at primarily. And then if I have time, I can look through the other ones because there can also be things, obviously this one connects to indoctrination or propaganda. But some in other categories might also connect to terror and propaganda. But I'm going to start with terror and propaganda. There are 2 ways that I can look at posts. One is just to scroll down the propaganda column and to read each one. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way to do it on Padlet that might be a little easier for you to read is to go over here to this little button that looks like a play button. And if you click this, it shows you all of the evidence on the Padlet as a slideshow. So now I can just click forward. I don't want these. I'm looking for first, here's my propaganda evidence. Okay, so I'm going to read these. First one, and I'm going to skim through and decide, does this feel interesting to me as I'm thinking about how indoctrination kind of feels like long-term propaganda? And so this is talking about how the Russian government conceals its crimes, and that feels like when you start changing language, maybe that propaganda becomes long-term indoctrination because the words change. And that makes me think, shoot, I need some stuff about Newspeak as well. I like this evidence. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this evidence. I can highlight it, and I'm just going to go Control-C to copy. And now I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to go back to my individual brainstorm. I'm creating a sticky. And I'm going to have this be like Russia Specialized Language is the title I'm going to give it. So I remember what it's about, and I'm going to paste it in. And then I can change the color down here. It says that my history evidence should be yellow. So I'm going to make this be yellow, and I'm going to publish it. Now I've got one done. I can change the size of it if I want to make them easier to move. Okay, now I'm going to go find another. Actually, no, I'm going to go to the English one because this is making me think about Newspeak and the way that Newspeak is kind of the combination of propaganda and indoctrination. That was a cool connection I made. So now I'm going to go to my English brainstorm. Here we go. And so 2 ways. Now I know I want to look for something about Newspeak. I could go to indoctrination and I could look through. I could go to propaganda and I could look through. Or I can go up here and I can search the post. I'm going to see if anything pops up about Newspeak. Ooh, look at all those things about Newspeak. Oh, this one's about reality control and doublethink. That sounds kind of cool. Maybe I'm going to copy this one. Remember that you can copy more. I'm going to double click it and copy. You can copy more than the required, and you can always go back and delete it if you decide you don't want it later. So I'm going back to my individual Padlet, and now I'm going to paste this. I'm going to have something about doublethink, and I'm going to paste this quote here. This one I'm making be red because it's English. Ooh, now I'm hot on the trail. Okay, so now maybe I'll go into the English stuff and look and see if there's any more English stuff that I want to see. Remember, I can go down the column. Oops, I'm going to get rid of my filter. I could go down the column of propaganda, or I can click over here and I can start flipping through. So maybe I'll start here with, I'm looking for indoctrination. This is all forced patriotism, indoctrination. Okay, so I'm going to start looking through indoctrination quotes. And if I find one I like, again, I can copy, go back to my individual Padlet, create a new sticky, paste it in. This is the process that you're going through today. So you are trying to find at least 5 good pieces of evidence that could relate to your topic. You're not committed to using these. You're welcome to find more than 5, but you need at least 5 to get your stamp for step 2. Please ask us if you have questions. I'm excited to see what you find.